not the shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can!
Grandpa! No! Be careful! Grandpa, stop! It was the school holidays, and Grandpa, Jemima and I were playing a Captain Dumbletwit board game.
I get the planet Matoki!
I wanted that one!
Mum and Dad were getting ready to go away for a few days.
I go.
The good news was that while they were away, Mr. Like-a-Biker was looking after the bike shop. And there's nothing Mr. Like-a-Biker likes more. The bad news was, guess who was looking after Grandpa, Jemima and me? Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister. Great Aunt Loretta is always making spinach and sprout shake, which we call green gloop.
Ooh, yum!
And all kinds of weird food that she thinks is yum.
Yum!
And she's often like this, or like this, or like this. And she makes Grandpa feel like this.
Now then. And don't you chew my slippers, you bad boy. I know what you're like.
Aunt Loretta isn't keen on Beowulf. In fact, she isn't keen on animals at all.
You sure you're going to be all right, Aunt Loretta?
Yes, I'll look after them. I'm good at looking after things.
Oh, no.
What?
I just remembered.
What?
Looking after things.
What?
I'm supposed to be looking after something today for my friend Dory.
What?
This was what Mr. Scoffbucket the Goat.
Just a Scoffbucket. I wonder why it's called that.
Aw, I think he looks really cute.
Beowulf didn't think Mr. Scoffbucket looked at all cute. He ran into the house and up to my bedroom.
Here are the instructions for how to take care of him.
Yes, it's just for today. Doreen will collect him this evening.
Are you sure you'll be all right?
Yes, we'll be all right. So will Mr. Scoffbucket. Don't you worry.
So Mum and Dad went off on their holiday, and we were left in charge of Mr. Scoffbucket.
Right, Jemima, now let's see this list.
No, leave it to me.
Oh, I have a way with goats. I can talk to them. They like me.
Don't be so silly.
Aw, I think he's so sweet.
Don't touch it.
I'll get a bucket for some water.
And Jemima went off to the garage in search of a bucket.
You never can tell with goats. I was once butted in the bottom by one. Oh, you think that's funny, do you? Get inside, the pair of you. Leave this to me.
So I followed Grandpa inside. But I didn't think for 1 second he would leave Mr. Scoffbucket to Great Aunt Loretta.
Now, don't do anything bad, you. Ugh. I'm going to do the washing, I am.
Well, Jason, if she won't let us help her, and she's sent us indoors, there's only one thing for it.
Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can!
You know when Grandpa shrinks, all kinds of magical things happen. He can get into my car and make it go. He can chuff around in my Sunnysands train. And he can even fly off in my plane. And that's what he did today.
Stop that plane, Jason! Stop it!
Great Aunt Loretta thinks my plane is radio controlled and that I'm making it go.
Oh, go and get the peg bag, you annoying boy.
At that moment, Grandpa landed my plane right next to Mr. Scoffbucket.
Don't worry, Mr. Scoffbucket. We won't let her be nasty to you. Just do as I say, and everything will be fine.
And Grandpa hid just as Jemima came back with the bucket.
Jason, your plane. trampled all over that.
Thanks.
Grandpa gone for a little lie down, has he? Huh, typical. Leaves me to do everything.
I'll look after Mr. Scoffbucket.
Me too.
Oh, no, you can't. He's dangerous. And I'm in charge. What would your mother say if I let you get nibbled by a goat? Oh.
So off went Great Aunt Loretta with the bucket.
Now, just you drink that and try and behave yourself. You kicked it, didn't you? You kicked the bucket. You should be called Mr. Kick Bucket, you should. He kicked the bucket. He's a bad goat. I knew it.
I'm not sure that was such a good idea. You'll only make her worse.
A little later, we all helped Great Aunt Loretta to hang out the washing. Suddenly, I saw Grandpa. He climbed a tree to get a better view. Grandpa was laughing at Great Aunt Loretta's washing. And I didn't blame him because it looked like this.
We'll go and get Mr. Scoffbucket's food ready.
Oh, you will you?
Great Aunt Loretta insisted that she should give Mr. Scoffbucket his food. So Jemima and I stood watching her. She once got butted in the bottom by a goat.
There. Now, don't spill it. Eat it nicely. Yum.
But Mr. Scoffbucket didn't think the food was yum. He kicked the bucket over. At that moment, I saw Grandpa jump out of the tree.
Oh, my ankle.
Then Grandpa climbed onto Mr. Scoffbucket's back.
Well, that wasn't very sensible, if you don't mind me saying. No, stay here.
But
No, don't-
Mr. Scoffbucket had a plan.
He did it. He butted me in the bottom. Oh.
Now, that really hasn't helped, has it?
Oh, get the peas, Jason. That's it.
So I went to the freezer to get the peas that we keep especially for these moments. Usually, Great Aunt Loretta hurts her toe, and we put the peas on that. This time, it was her bottom. Meanwhile, Mr. Scoffbucket was eating Great Aunt Loretta's pants.
He's eating me pants.
And at that moment, Mr. Scoffbucket pulled the washing line down.
Run. Upstairs, come on.
And Grandpa came running in. I was hoping he had another plan, because we were desperate now.
We need help, Jason. We need someone strong and brave and... I know. Write me a note, quick.
So I grabbed a pencil, and Grandpa told me what to write.
Calm down, Great Aunt Loretta. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Fine, how can it be fine? He's knocked me over. He's eaten me pants. What's he going to do next?
He's running around the sitting room.
You see? He'll eat everything. And then he'll make a terrible mess. And then he'll probably go to the...
Great Aunt Loretta doesn't say the word toilet out loud because she thinks it's rude. I looked out of my bedroom window and saw Grandpa flying off in my plane. He'd gone for help.
Oh, I like a bottle with a slurpy, nozzly type thing.
Mr. Like a Biker was having a great time sorting things out.
Need more bottles?
And at that moment, who should fly in but Grandpa? As Grandpa flew over the counter, he dropped my note. Then, as quickly as he came, he was gone.
Hello, what's this? It's a note. Oh, it's from Jason. I missed him. Please come to the Mason house at once. Mr. Scoffbucket has eaten Great Aunt Loretta's pants. Oh no. I hope she wasn't wearing them at the time. Right, I must go. Yes, right. Here we go!
Soon, Grandpa was back home. I'll be right back. Mr. Scoffbucket had eaten a pile of newspapers and was halfway through Great Aunt Loretta's slipper. I ran outside to find Grandpa. Cap off, Grandpa, quick!
Don't worry, Jason. Help is on the way.
Never fear! Like a biker's here!
That way!
Oh, right.
We did it, Jason. Mr. Like a Biker will sort out Mr. Scoffbucket in no time.
Teamwork!
Teamwork!
Mr. Like a Biker led Mr. Scoffbucket out into the garden.
Come on, Philip.
Philip?
Yeah, it's his first name. Philip Scoffbucket. If you use their first names, they're always a lot more friendly.
So Philip Scoffbucket waited patiently to be collected, and we all tidied up inside. Later, everything was back to normal.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Like a Biker. I don't know what we'd have done without you.
Oh, it was a pleasure. I'm quite keen on goats.
Yeah, that's what Grandpa said. Fat lot of help he was. He just went for a little lie down.
You wouldn't let me help. If you'd let me help, Mr. Scoffbucket wouldn't have eaten your slipper. Or your pants. Yum!
Grandpa in my pocket! It was the school holidays. Mum was away on a basket weaving course, but we were all having a great time because guess who'd come to look after us? Bubbles, the babysitter.
This is a flamenco dancer from Spain.
And today, Bubbles and Jemima were sorting through some of Jemima's dancing dolls.
I love flamenco dancing. Ra-ta-ra-ta-ta.
Olé!
Look, I dressed my old dog Peter up in this costume.
Oh, very snazzy. That would suit me, that would.
Of course it would, Grandpa. Give that to Grandpa.
Today, all the dancing dolls were going to be on display. Miss Smiley was holding a dance afternoon in a cafe. Oh yes, today we had all been invited to Miss Smiley's dancing tea. Very soon, Grandpa and I were watching Bubbles and Jemima practicing in the garden.
Okay, Spanish dancing time. I need you for this, Jason.
Olé!
So Bubbles started to teach me to flamenco dance.
A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we need.
And Jemima joined in.
With a Benji wrist this time. And a
And Grandpa joined in from his chair.
other side.
And then Dad turned up.
Olé!
And he joined in too. We were all having a great time and were looking forward to getting Miss Smiley to dance too. But suddenly, what should we hear?
It's only me.
It was Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
Oh, hello, Bubbles. Oh, are you practicing for the dancing tea? I can't wait. Arriba! Oh, ha ha! That looks like flamingo dancing.
Flamenco. It's called flamingo. Flamingo's fine.
I'm good at flamingo dancing.
Great Aunt Loretta started to dance, and she really did look like a flamingo. We tried very hard not to laugh, but it was no good.
What are you laughing at?
You dancing? Come on, let me have a go.
Don't be so silly. You're far too old to do dancing.
No, I'm not.
Of course you are. You can come to me, Smileys, and watch us.
I don't want to watch, I want to join in.
Well, you can't. So that's that. Oh, that's right. Go for a little lie down. Sulky socks.
I ran inside after Grandpa. I knew he wasn't planning on a little lie down.
If Loretta's going to Miss Smiley's dancing tea, she's going to try and take over and boss everybody about. And we've got to try and stop her, Jason.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can get in my toy car and make it go. He can chuff about in our Sunnysands train. I'm the only one who knows about Grandpa's magic shrinking cap, and no one else must see him. Meanwhile, back in the garden, Great Aunt Loretta was trying to do lime dancing.
Jason, come on, we're doing line dancing. Come on, practice.
We needed to get her out of the way. Luckily, Dad had an idea.
Do you know what, Loretta?
Yeah.
I fancy a waltz. Would Madame do me the honour?
Oh, Madame would, thank you. Waltz sound lovely.
The waltzing was going really well until...
Oh!
Oh, your dad's gone and hurt his foot. That means he can't dance with me.
Time to get going, everyone. We mustn't forget the dolls.
At that moment, I saw Grandpa peeping out behind the toaster.
Off you go, Jason.
It was no good. I had to go. So we all got into Campo and off we went to Miss Smiley's cafe. And Great Aunt Loretta said,
I hope Mr. Whoops is there. He's very good at organising dancing, Mr. Whoops is.
and Bubbles said,
I think he'll be looking after his shop, Loretta.
and Great Aunt Loretta said,
Oh well, I'll have to organise everything then.
that was exactly what Grandpa said would happen. I didn't know how he'd get to Miss Smiley's cafe, but I knew he'd find a way. And I was right. At Miss Smiley's cafe, Jemima and two of her friends were arranging the dolls, and Great Aunt Loretta was unarranging them. But Bubbles was keen to get on with the dancing.
Shall we get on with the dancing?
These aren't in the right place.
And just when I thought Grandpa would never arrive, this is what happens. Luckily, everyone was far too busy to notice him. He quickly got off Gordon and hid behind the cake. And I quickly put Gordon in the doll's box.
How's it going?
Badly. She's interfering with all the dolls.
Oh, this one's ridiculous.
And Great Aunt Loretta grabbed Peter
There.
and put him in the box.
I can't wait to see you dancing.
Then Grandpa jumped in the box too.
Right, come on, line up. Come on.
At last, Great Aunt Loretta was ready to get going.
Right. No, we're starting with my line dancing. 1, 2, 3, 4. How down, heel, up, down, wave, back, heel, back, forward, heel, left, heel, right, heel, wave, hip, lasso. Come on, Jason, join in.
So I had to join in. Grandpa needed an idea. I just hoped it would be a good one. Everybody had been too busy to notice Grandpa making his way to a shelf. He decided to dress up in Peter's costume. He started to rearrange the dolls. Soon Grandpa had moved all the dolls about. I got it. He was hoping that Great Aunt Loretta would move them all back. And while she did, the girls could do their dance.
Hey, excuse me. Those dolls have all moved. Who moved all these dolls? And this horrible one on the end. I put that in the basket.
Maybe you should arrange them all again, Great Aunt Loretta, while the girls do their dance.
I will do no such thing. I want to know who did it. Who was it, eh? Who moved all the dolls? Come on, own up.
Grandpa's plan hadn't worked. He signalled to me to go into the kitchen. Then he jumped off the shelf and ran. Miss Smiley decided it was time for tea.
There's nothing like some nice cakes and sandwiches to perk everyone up.
I'll help you with the plates, Miss Smiley.
Thank you, Jason.
We've got to find someone for Loretta to dance with. Dad's no good. She's already trodden on him. I know. Mr. Whoops.
Great idea. I'll phone him. But just then, Great Aunt Loretta called.
Jason, bring the plates, or we'll never have any cake.
Over to you, Grandpa. So I grabbed the plates and left Grandpa to talk to Mr. Whoops.
Oh, whoops! Oh. Hello? Mr. Whoops here.
Hello, Mr. Whoops. It's Grandpa.
Hello, Grandpa. What can I do for you?
Well, it's what you can do for Loretta, really. She's looking for a dancing partner, and there's nothing more she'd like than to dance with you.
And luckily, there was nothing Mr. Whoops would like more than to dance with Great Aunt Loretta. And by the time everyone had finished their tea, he'd arrived.
Whoops!
And in no time, Great Aunt Loretta and Mr. Whoops were dancing a tango. Grandpa joined in. So now that Mr. Whoops had warned Great Aunt Loretta out, it was the girls' turn. And Mr. Whoops joined in. And Grandpa couldn't resist joining in too.
Oh, I'm sure I just saw. Didn't that doll?
Oh, keep going, Bubbles.
Oh, it did it again.
Oh, everything dances at Miss Smiley's dancing tea. Everything.
This time Grandpa had gone too far. He had joined in enough. I had to hide him. The good news was that Grandpa was in the teapot. The bad news was he was still dancing.
You're so right, Mr. Whoops. Everything's dancing at Miss Smiley's dancing tea, even the teapot. Look.
After the dancing tea, I put Grandpa back into the doll's box where he could change into his own clothes. And I brought him home. I ran ahead of everyone else. I took him out of the box. He whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
Well, Jason, did we stop Loretta spoiling the dancing tea?
We did, Grandpa.
I thought as much. Teamwork, eh?
Teamwork.
Oh, Grandpa, you don't know what you missed.
Oh, don't I?
You should have come and watched and not been such a sulky socks.
I wouldn't have watched, I'd have joined in. Hold down, step up, down, wave. 1, 2, 3, step.
Grandpa in my pocket! It was the weekend. Mum had gone off with Jemima to a tap dancing festival. And guess who'd invited herself to stay? Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
I suppose you all want some breakfast.
Great Aunt Loretta always makes really weird food.
There we are, prune and parsnip porridge.
Ah, looks interesting.
Looks revolting. Looks more like
Don't you start. You're lucky to get any breakfast at all. I'm worn out, I am. Ooh, I need a rest. Nom, nom, nom.
Suddenly, she spotted something interesting in the Sunnysands Gazette.
Mr. Mentor, the inventor. He's running a competition. It's today. He wants everyone to invent a clock that reminds him of Sunnysands. A Sunnysands tick-tock clock.
Little did we all know that Mr. Mentor was in for a Sunnysands tick-tock shock. Now, Mr. Mentor the inventor lives in the lighthouse in Sunnysands. He's always coming up with really crazy inventions. Like this, the grassy buggle jumper. Only the bugs liked it even more than he did. Then there's this, the automatic haerostatic that gives you a new hairstyle every day. And this, the Huffer Puffer Pillow Fluffer. Everyone loves going to visit him in the lighthouse and trying things out. And he likes trying out other people's inventions too.
I shall invent a Sunnysands clock. I'm going to go in for it. I'm going to enter for Mr. Mentor the inventor.
You've never made anything like that in your life.
Ooh, there's a prize.
What's the point?
A 3-week holiday.
A 3-week holiday?
A cruise on a big ship.
Oh, that's a great idea. You haven't had a holiday for ages.
And Dad agreed with Grandpa.
I agree with Grandpa.
And Wulfy liked the idea too.
We could help you.
You do no such thing. No. I shall make a Sunnysands clock, and I shall win the holiday.
Soon, Great Aunt Loretta had got all the things she needed to make her clock. And Dad had found just the thing in the garage.
You can build your sculpture around that.
Ooh, thank you. And I know just what kind of Sunnysands clock I'm going to make for Mr. Mentor.
Meanwhile, Grandpa and I were playing with my construction set.
You sure you don't want any help, Loretta?
Quite sure, thank you, Grandpa.
If she's going to win that holiday, Jason, and give us all some peace, she's going to need all the help she can get. And if she won't let me help her while I'm big, I'll just have to make myself small.
Not the shrinking cup, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can!
Now, you know when Grandpa shrinks, he can get up to all kinds of mischief. He can fly off in my plane. He can drive off in my car. Or he can run so fast that I can't catch him. Get down! We haven't got time for this, Grandpa! Help! Coming, Great Aunt Loretta! Get down! I hoped Grandpa would do as he was told. I ran to help Aunt Loretta.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Grandpa promised he'd help, but where is he when I need somebody to help me blow me nose, eh? Gone for a little lie down, I suppose.
Whenever Grandpa shrinks, everyone thinks he's gone for a little lie down.
Now then, Jason Mason, are you ready to see my Sunnysands clock? 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! It's Mr. Mentor's lighthouse. He's going to love it, won't he? It's a masterpiece.
While she was admiring her masterpiece, Grandpa climbed up the table leg. Grandpa signalled to me to get Great Aunt Loretta out of the kitchen. He had a plan, I could tell. And when Grandpa has a plan, there's no stopping him. The judging's at 5 o'clock, Great Aunt Loretta, and you're still in your nightie.
Right, don't get shirty. I'll go and change then. It's not me who keeps anybody waiting.
Right, Jason. Here's the plan.
Goodness, it's extraordinary. What's it like inside?
We have to hurry, Dad!
Steady, Jason. I'll be ready very soon.
Right. This is what I need.
He needed bits of egg box, he needed some glue, some paints, and some felt. I'm nearly ready, Grandpa.
I just need one more thing.
Jason! You can carry me bag!
Coming! Get in the clock, quick!
Right then! Come on, my beauty, we're off!
So we all got into Campo, and off we went to Miss Smiley's cafe. And Great Aunt Loretta said,
Oh, I hope Mr. Mentor likes me clock. What if he doesn't? Oh, I'm all nervous now.
I didn't think she should be nervous. After all, Grandpa had a plan. And he was in the lighthouse clock. Or so I thought. At the cafe there were a lot of clocks. There was a fish clock, a shell clock, a beach hut clock, and they all looked fantastic. As soon as I got the chance, I peeped into the lighthouse to check that Grandpa was okay. But Grandpa wasn't okay. He wasn't even there. This was a disaster! Then poor Great Aunt Loretta started to get upset.
The other clocks are lovely. Oh, mine looks terrible. Mr. Mentor will hate it. Oh, what he'll think.
Aunt Loretta?
It wasn't long before Mr. Mentor arrived to start the judging.
They're ridiculous!
Mr. Mentor doesn't just invent things, he invents words too.
Aren't they wonder bubble? What wonder bubble clocks! I don't think clocks get any wonder bubblier than these. This is going to be hard, Miss Smiley.
Now I was really worried. Great Aunt Loretta wasn't going to win without Grandpa's help, and Grandpa was not where he was supposed to be. Where was he?
Miss Smiley, now this cake is quite marvelicious.
Just then, Grandpa raced across the floor, and soon he climbed up onto the table. Where have you been?
I had to make a hat.
I think it will be hard to beat, Miss Smiley. Very hard to beat.
Just then we heard...
Tickety-tock. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tickety-tock. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tickety-tock.
Now that is a brilioso tick and tock. Sounds almost human. What an invention! A musical clock!
Grandpa's plan was working. Mr. Mentor was really impressed. Then suddenly, a door at the top of the lighthouse opened, and out came Grandpa, dressed as a weatherman, and still singing the tick and tock. He'd made himself a costume out of felt.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, tickety-tock.
How fantastic!
This time, Grandpa had gone too far.
Tickety-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock.
But he was about to go even further. Just as it hit 5 o'clock, this happened.
Cuckoo,
He'd made himself another costume out of an egg box.
cuckoo, cuckoo. And who is responsible for this work of genius?
Me. I am. Sorry, I was just in the...
Great Aunt Loretta can't say the word toilet out loud because she thinks it's rude.
She wouldn't come out. She's so shy.
So shy, so talented, so creative.
Well, thank you.
You win the prize, Loretta. This clock is not just wonder bubble. It's absolutely wonder bubble.
Absolutely wonderful.
When we got home, I rushed inside ahead of Dad and Great Aunt Loretta and put the clock down on the floor. Come out, Grandpa, quick! Out he came. He had changed back into his own clothes. He quickly whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
We did it, Jason. Great Aunt Loretta is going on holiday. Teamwork.
Teamwork!
Guess what? I won the competition.
Oh, Loretta, that's wonderful. You deserve a really long holiday.
Thank you. I think I do, actually. Now let's have a look at the prize. Oh, it's a cruise for 2. You can come with me, Grandpa.
Grandpa in my pocket! It was a lovely Sunnysands afternoon, and I was playing with Gordon, my toy seagull. Beowulf was playing with his bird toy, a squeaky chicken.
There's a good boy. Oh, what can you smell from the kitchen? Something delicious, eh?
Wulfy could smell Mum's new hobby, which was making puddings. And she had an upside-down pineapple pie in the oven. Suddenly, the doorbell rang.
Go on, Wulfy. Go and see who's at the door.
It was Mr. Whoops.
Mr. Whoops.
Oh, whoops!
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, and hello, Wulfy. Oh, you're pleased to see me. You are a little cutie, aren't you?
He is. He wouldn't be without Wulfy.
That's it, you see. That's why I've come round to talk to you. I'm going to get a dog, see?
Mr. Whoops, what a great idea.
I bought the food and the bones and some squeaky toys.
Wonderful.
But not the dog yet.
I know what you should do. You should practice having a dog. Take Wulfy for the day. He'll be good as gold in your shop.
Are you sure?
Of course, he's so easy to look after.
Oh, Wulfy, yes.
Little did Grandpa and I know that today was going to be Wulfy's day with Mr. Whoops.
Do you think we'll be all right?
Of course you will. Wulfy practically tells you what he wants.
Well, that's handy.
Yes, he's an amazingly clever dog.
Nice smell.
Yes, upside down pineapple pie. Burning. Bye.
Wulfy! Wulfy!
He's gone off with Mr. Whoops for the day.
What?
Well, just for the day. Well, Mr. Whoops wants a dog, so I said he needed practice. Oh, the strawberry bomb's ready.
Mr. Whoops is looking after Wulfy.
Bit of a problem. I'll ask Mum if she can take us to the toy shop.
Well, we've got to go there, Jason. You know what Mr. Whoops is like.
Mum! Mr. Whoops is called Mr. Whoops because he's always having little accidents. He falls off things, he falls over things, he even trips over his own feet.
Whoops!
Mum says she can't take us, Grandpa, because she's up to her ears in pudding.
Well, in that case, I'll have to go myself.
Not the shrinking gap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
You know when Grandpa shrinks, he can get up to all kinds of things. He can chuff about in our Sunnysands train. He can drive off in my car. He can get into all sorts of very small places. And often he runs so fast, you've no idea where he's gone. And today he was getting onto Gordon, my toy seagull. No, Grandpa! Grandpa had decided to go to Mr. Whoops' shop on Gordon.
So we've got biscuits here, Wulfy, and bones, and special doggy treats, and a water bowl, and a food bowl, and a toy. I've got some more out the back.
Grandpa flew in and landed near Wulfy.
Here we are, Wulfy. Oh, I'll get you some water.
Psst, Wulfy, come here. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Just do as I say.
Here we go. Whoa! Goodness, for a minute I thought you shouted, whoa! Oh dear, what a mess.
Of course, it wasn't Wulfy who shouted, "Whoa!" It was Grandpa.
I can't believe I'm so clumsy.
Go and get a cloth.
Where are you off to? Oh, what a clever dog you are.
While Mr. Whoops was cleaning up, this is what was happening at home. Please can I go to the toy shop, Mum? Please?
Not yet, Jason. I've still got lots of puddings to make. Don't worry about Wulfy. He'll be fine.
I'm not worried about Wulfy.
Good. I don't think Grandpa can be either. He's gone for a little lie down.
Meanwhile, back at Mr. Whoops' shop, Mr. Whoops had cleaned up the water and was about to open some dog food for Wulfy.
Now I should have asked Jason's mum which one you'd prefer. I don't suppose you'd be able to tell me. Lamb or chicken?
Chicken.
Oh my word! That sounded like chicken. Jason's mum was right. You do say what you want. Chicken it is. Brilliant. Whoops. Oh dear. How silly of me.
Mr. Whoops was ever so close to Grandpa, so he made a dash for it, and Wulfy ran after him.
Go and fetch a brush, Wulfy.
Where are you going now?
Wulfy was going to fetch a brush.
You're an amazingly clever dog. Thank you. Here.
Grandpa had to stay as near as he could to Wulfy. He made sure Mr. Whoops wasn't looking, then he made another dash for it.
What do you want to do now, eh?
Play.
I think you said play. You're in a toy shop. Of course you want to play. Here we go then. Fetch. Oh no.
Go and fetch your lead, Wulfy. We've got to get out of here.
So Wulfy fetched a lead.
Oh, you want to go for a walk, do you? That's a good idea. Where shall we go?
Beach.
The beach? Of course. Here we go.
Grandpa was looking forward to flying to the beach on Gordon, but just then...
Gordon, what are you doing here? Jason must have left you here by mistake when he last visited. Come along. We'll give Gordon back to him when I take you home, Wulfy. Come on, Wulfy.
Grandpa had no way of getting to the beach. Until, that is, he spotted this. A kite. Meanwhile, back at home, I was in my bedroom looking out at the lighthouse. Mum was still making puddings. I was missing Grandpa and was wondering what he could be doing. But I didn't have to wonder for long. There he was on the end of a kite. This time Grandpa had gone too far. He was making for the beach. I ran downstairs as fast as I could. Mum, please can we go to the beach?
What now, Jason? I'm still busy. Why the beach?
I just felt like it. None of my plans were working today.
Oh, whoops!
I had been right. Grandpa was heading for the beach, and he landed on the roof of our beach hut. Grandpa made a quick escape, but Wulfy saw him.
Goodness me! That looks just like the kite in my shop. How did that get there, I wonder? I'll get it down. Whoops! Oh! Ouch! Ow! Oh, I can't get up. How silly! Now look what I've gone and done. Hurt both my legs. How could I be so clumsy?
Go and fetch Jason, quick.
Wulfy, come back!
Just when I was wondering what to try next, who should appear at the kitchen door?
Wulfy.
Mum, Mr. Whoops must be in trouble. Wulfy's come to get us.
Oh dear. Well, we'll have to go and find him. But where do you think he is?
I guessed Mr. Whoops was at the beach, but I needed to check. I had an idea. Wulfy's paws are sandy, Mum. That means Mr. Whoops must be at the beach.
I'll go and tell Grandpa where we're going.
No. No time for that, Mum. Anyway, Grandpa won't want to be disturbed. Come on. So off we went to the beach in Campo, and Mum said,
I wonder how Wulfy knew he should come home to fetch us.
and I said, I just think he's an amazingly clever dog, Mum. When we got to the beach, Mum put a bandage on both Mr. Whoops's legs.
Oh, you are a clever dog, you really are. I don't think I'll get a dog of my own. I think I'll borrow you again.
I looked round for Grandpa, and there he was, peeping out from behind the beach hut. I quickly picked him up and put him in my pocket.
Gordon was in my toy shop, Jason. You left him there the last time you came in.
Right, Mr. Whoops, now all you have to do is to come home with us for tea.
When we got home, I ran ahead of Mum and Mr. Whoops. I put Grandpa down. He whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
Well done, Jason.
And well done to you, Grandpa.
I knew Mr. Whoops would need our help. Teamwork, eh?
Teamwork! Mr. Whoops felt a whole lot better after eating a huge bowl of Mum's special trifle.
That was delicious. That's made my day.
Well, Mr. Whoops, you were supposed to be looking after Wulfy, and instead, Wulfy looked after you.
I know. And you were quite right. He tells you exactly what he wants.
Rifle.
Just like that.
Scoffbucket. Grandpa and I had just finished making a fisherman out of modelling clay to go in my fishing boat. Mum was in Miss Smiley's cafe with her friends. Dad was at the bike shop. And Jemima was on the phone to her friend Izzy. Suddenly, Dad came into the garden.
Have you heard the news?
What news?
About the big ship.
What big
what?
ship?
There's a big ship docked in the harbour. Its engine's broken and all the passengers have come ashore.
Goodness, Sunnysands must be heaving with people.
It is, and so's the bike shop. Everyone wants to hire bikes. We're running out, so I've come home to fetch mine. See you later.
Then Jemima ran into the garden.
Izzy just told me.
Then Mum arrived.
Have you heard the news?
Yes.
Miss Smiley's cafe is full of people. And who do you think I met?
No idea. Don't know.
The captain of the ship. Captain Shipshape. He came into the cafe and had a cherry chunk with his fish.
His fish?
Yes, it's called Bryan. And guess what? I've invited the captain to stay.
Oh yes. Today we were all about to meet Captain Shipshape and a fish called Bryan.
Everybody, this is Captain Shipshape.
Hi, Captain. Hi, Captain. Oh, no, that'll never do. This is how you greet the captain of a ship. How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
Sir! Oh, and this is Captain Shipshape's fish, Bryan.
How do you do, sir?
Oh, so who's an old clever clogs, then?
It's Grandpa.
Well, Grandpa, perhaps you would like to learn how to greet my fish. This is how.
Swishy, swishy, little fishy, tell me, fishy, what's your wishy?
And now it was Grandpa's turn.
Swishy, swishy, little fishy, tell me, fishy, what's your wishy?
He never replies. Now, everything has to be shipshape, and everything has to be done on time. When my clock goes boing, it means that something has to be done until 5 o'clock, which is my nap time. Blow me down, it's time for my juice and jammy jumblies.
This was too much for Grandpa.
Thank you so much. I'd like to help with all my bags. Thank you very much.
He's going to be big trouble, Jason. I can smell it, him and his little fishy.
I think you're right, Grandpa.
If I can get him on his own at 5 o'clock, which is his nap time, I think I can get rid of him. I have a plan.
Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can get in my toy car and make it go. He can chuff around in our Sunnysands train. Or he can just run so fast I can't catch him. And that's what he'd done today.
We'll put him in Jason's room. You don't mind having the sofa tonight, do you, Jason?
We've got to get him on his own, Jason.
Grandpa had a plan. Grandpa always has a plan. He ran into the kitchen and climbed up onto the table.
Tell me, fishy, what's your wishy? Oh, I wish you'd answer me one day. I know you understand me. You do. You do.
Your room's all ready for you, Captain.
Thank you.
And just then, the doorbell rang. I rushed to the door. And who should it be?
It's only me.
It was Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
Grandpa gone for a little lie down, has he? Well, he's missing out on my prune and cabbage puddings, and he's missing out on the news. There's this big ship coming to Sunnysands.
Loretta,
and
could
guess what? I'm telling a story. The captain went into Miss Smiley's cafe and he ate 5 cherry chunks. 5!
Everybody tried to stop Great Aunt Loretta talking because Captain Shipshape could hear every word she was saying.
Right. People are saying that this captain's absolutely bonkers. He talks to his fish all the time. Can you imagine talking to a fish? Well, it's very nice to meet you, your captainship. Would you like a prune and cabbage pudding?
No, I would not. Aha! Time for inspection. Line up! Line up!
So, we all lined up for inspection.
Hands out of pockets. Shoulders down, girl. And you can wipe that grin off your face, funny old lady with hair like a hedgehog.
Then, Grandpa had an idea. He signalled to me that he was going into the clock. I guessed he was going to try and make the time go faster, so the captain's nap time would come sooner. First, he turned off the noisy boing, then he turned the clock hands round.
Boing, boing, boing. Blow me down, it's never made that kind of boing before.
First he shook the clock, then he banged it. Poor Grandpa!
3 o'clock. Time to scrub the decks. Come along. Everything has to be shipshape. What does everything have to be?
Shipshape! So before we knew it, we were scrubbing the kitchen floor. Sure enough, Grandpa came to our rescue and turned the clock hands round again.
Boing, 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 boing. Blow me down, time flies when you're enjoying yourself, doesn't it, Bryan, my little fishy friend? It's 4 o'clock already. Time to dance the hornpipe.
And that's what he made us all do.
Chin up.
Dance the hornpipe, which is a dance that sailors used to do in the olden days. And it's quite odd. And I saw Grandpa peep out from the kitchen door. He couldn't resist joining in. When he saw how tired everyone was, especially Great Aunt Loretta, he ran back into the kitchen.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And soon we heard...
Boing, boing, boing. Blow me down. Boing, boing. It's time for me nap. Come on, Bryan. Beddy bye.
I'll show you to your room, Captain.
Thank you very much.
As everyone went through the kitchen door, Grandpa jumped out of the kitchen window.
Goodness, Jason, he's a shocker. I even felt sorry for Loretta. But now I've got him on his own, I can carry out the rest of my plan.
What is your plan, Grandpa?
Ah, the secret lies with the fish. I need our fisherman's coat, his rod, and your plane.
Okay. Well, you know when Grandpa has a plan, there's no stopping him. Soon, he was flying off in my plane with the fisherman's cape and fishing rod.
Ah! What's that? Stop it! Stop it, I say! Do as I say, obey orders!
It's that boy Jason Mason, Bryan. He must have flown his radio-controlled plane in here for fun. Were you frightened, little fishy?
While Captain Shipshape went back to sleep, Grandpa got onto a shelf. He was wearing the fisherman's cape and carrying the rod.
What was that? Blow me down! The fisherman trying to catch Bryan!
While Captain Shipshape comforted Bryan, Grandpa made his escape.
Poor little fishy wishy. It's that Jason up to his tricks. He must have sneaked in and put that fisherman there. Don't worry, Bryan. Daddy's here.
Grandpa climbed onto the table and hid behind the lighthouse lamp.
Swishy, swishy, little fishy. Tell me, fishy. What's your wishy?
I want to go home.
Yes, of course you. You spoke. You said, I want to go home.
But of course, it wasn't Bryan who'd spoken. It was Grandpa.
I don't like it here.
No, neither do I.
I don't like the fisherman.
No, I don't like that fisherman either.
And I don't like the funny old lady with the hedgehog hair.
Me neither. She's bonkers.
Can't we go back to the ship and stay in our cabin together forever? It's your fish's little wishy.
Of course we can. Your wishy is my command.
Grandpa's job was done. Captain Shipshape was about to leave. While everyone waved goodbye to Captain Shipshape in the garden, I ran upstairs and got Grandpa. I quickly put him down on the floor, and he took off his cap and came back to his normal size.
Oh, well, Jason, we saw him off at last. Him and his little fishy.
Yes, Grandpa. I think we call it teamwork.
Teamwork.
Well, that was a long lie down, Grandpa.
Oh dear, did I miss the excitement?
No, you missed all the hard work. This is the excitement.
Little fishy, what's your wishy? Prawn and cabbage in a dishy. Boing!
Ooh, is he back?
No, it's just Grandpa.
You.
Grandpa in my pocket! It was a Saturday morning. Grandpa and I were eating jammy jumbly biscuits. And so was Wulfy, even though he wasn't really allowed to. I was going to help Dad mend the beach hut roof. And Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister, had come round to choose some stuff from Mum's Bits and Bobs box.
Stars, that's nice. Mr. Mentor will like these.
Great Aunt Loretta was going to help Mr. Mentor the inventor with a new invention. Now, Mr. Mentor the inventor lives in the lighthouse in Sunnysands. He's always coming up with really crazy inventions. Like this, the grassy buggle jumper. Only the bugs liked it even more than he did. Then there's this, the automatic haerostatic that gives you a new hairstyle every day. And this, the Huffer Puffer Pillow Fluffer. Everyone loves going to visit him in the lighthouse and trying things out, and he likes trying out other people's adventures too, which was why Great Aunt Loretta was so excited.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Help me pack this up, you two. And then I'm off to the lighthouse. Oh, jammy jumblies. Ooh. Oh, that's right, Grandpa. Don't help. Trust you to escape.
Little did any of us know that today was going to be the day of Grandpa's greatest escape ever.
Off to bed, Wulfy.
I knew what Grandpa was thinking.
If Loretta's going to help Mr. Mentor with his invention, he may very well need our help too. We better go with her.
But you can't climb up all those stairs in the lighthouse, Grandpa.
No, but I'm sure I can find a way to get up there if I'm small.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can!
You know when Grandpa shrinks, he can drive off in my car. He can chuff about in our Sunnysands train. And he can get into the smallest places. Psst! Grandpa, she's coming, hide! Grandpa jumped into Great Aunt Loretta's bag.
Yeah. Oh, Grandpa gone for a little lie down, has he now? Typical. Oh. I'll see you later with my invention, Grandpa.
Oh, yes. Grandpa had gone with Great Aunt Loretta to the lighthouse.
Ready, Jason?
I was going to the beach hut with Dad.
I'll just go and get my hat.
I had to have an idea, and fast. I ran into the kitchen and whipped some ribbon out of Mum's box. Then I ran back again. Dad, can we go to the lighthouse straight away? I think Aunt Loretta needs this.
Okay, to the lighthouse it is then.
So Dad and I got into Campo and off we went. As soon as we arrived at the lighthouse, I dashed all the way up the stairs. But Great Aunt Loretta wasn't there.
I'm sure she'll be here soon, Jason.
Maybe she stopped off somewhere on her way. And I was right. She had. She was in Mr. Whoops's shop. And so, of course, was Grandpa.
So, I need some coloured tissue paper. Oh, this is nice. Now, does it match the colour of my stars?
She was going to find Grandpa.
Oh, I can't find them.
Oh, dear.
Let me help. Oh! I'm so sorry.
Grandpa had hidden under Great Aunt Loretta's hanky and was making a dash for it. While Great Aunt Loretta and Mr. Whoops cleared up all the things from her bag, Grandpa climbed onto some shelves behind the counter. Great Aunt Loretta had chosen her paper and it was time to go. There was only one thing Grandpa could do: jump into her bag. But Grandpa missed. He landed in the jar of lemon bonbons.
Goodbye, Mr. Whoops.
This was a disaster. I was still waiting for Great Aunt Loretta at the lighthouse. And at last, she arrived.
Oh, here I am, Mr. Mentor. Oh, what are you doing here, Jason Mason?
I bought this for Mr. Mentor. I thought he'd like it for his invention.
Our invention, you mean, doesn't he, Mr. Mentor?
Oh, yes, our invention, Loretta. Yours and mine. And it's going to be absolutely fantastical.
Look what I've brought.
While Great Aunt Loretta showed her paper to Mr. Mentor, I quickly looked in her bag for Grandpa, but he wasn't there.
Isn't it good that Mr. Whoops had all the colours we need?
Have you been in Mr. Whoops' shop then?
Yes, I have, Jason, so?
So, I have to go now. Bye. I realised Grandpa must be in Mr. Whoops' shop. I got back into Campo and I said, Dad, can we just go to Mr. Whoops' shop on the way to the beach? And Dad said,
Well, I really need to fix the beach hut roof.
And I said, but you know how you love sucking a toffee mint when you're fixing things. And Dad said,
That's true. All right then, so long as you're quick.
Who should be in Mr. Whoops' shop but Miss Smiley? She was buying sweets, and Mr. Whoops was putting them in little boxes for her.
Can I have some strawberry laces, please, Mr. Whoops?
I had to find Grandpa before I bought the toffee mints for Dad. And suddenly, I saw him. I really hoped that Miss Smiley wasn't going to ask for lemon bonbons. Not lemon bonbons. Please, not lemon bonbons.
Can I have some lemon bonbons, please, Mr. Whoops?
Oh, lemon bonbons. They're your grandpa's favourites, aren't they, Jason?
Before I could do anything, Grandpa had been tipped into a box with a lot of lemon bonbons. I didn't have time to get Grandpa out, but I did have time to put the lid on.
Thank you so much, Mr. Whoops.
Oh, you're welcome.
So Miss Smiley set off for her cafe, and Grandpa set off with her. I quickly bought some toffee mints and rushed out to Campo. Now, of course, I had to persuade Dad to go to the cafe, because that's where Grandpa was heading. So I said, Hey, Dad, let's go to Miss Smiley's and buy some cherry chunks for tea. And Dad said,
All right, Jason, but this must be our last stop.
I couldn't believe that Mr. Mentor was in the cafe.
I've come for some straws. For our invention, Jason. It's going spectacularly well.
Straws are no problem, Mr. Mentor. Come and choose. I've got lots of spectacular colours.
While they were gone, I looked for Grandpa. He was in one of those boxes on the table. But which one? He jumped out.
Thanks, Jason. Now I just have to find a way of getting back to the lighthouse.
Grandpa, hide! Grandpa hid behind the cherry chunks. But before I could do anything, Grandpa jumped into Mr. Mentor's big coat pocket.
Have a wonder-bubble afternoon.
So, off went Mr. Mentor with Grandpa. I quickly bought some cherry chunks and then ran to find Dad. Back at the lighthouse, Great Aunt Loretta and Mr. Mentor had invented this. A little hot air balloon. And Grandpa had jumped out of Mr. Mentor's pocket.
Oh, it's fabadiculous.
Yes, now all we have to do is make it fly.
What can we use to make it fly, I wonder?
I'll have a look.
While they looked around for something to help the balloon fly, Grandpa jumped off the shelf and into the balloon basket. Great Aunt Loretta found some bellows.
Maybe we could puff it up into the air with these.
Great idea. Quite marvelicious.
Oh, I'm full of marvelicious ideas, I am. Puff, 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 puff.
Great Aunt Loretta pumped the bellows and the balloon rose up out of Mr. Mentor's hands. But of course, it was Grandpa making the balloon fly, Grandpa using his magic.
Absolutely wonderful. Oh, it's flying. Absolutely marvelicious. Oh, it's good. Out the window.
Oh, I knew I could do it.
Suddenly, I saw the balloon fly out of the lighthouse window. I guessed straight away that this was Mr. Mentor's new invention. And I could see who was in it too. It was heading this way. I had to distract Dad. And luckily, I had a reason to. Dad, look! Great Loretta's coming!
Aunt Loretta!
Just then, Grandpa landed the balloon on the beach hut roof. He scrambled out and jumped down onto the sand. I ran to him, picked him up and put him in my pocket.
Oh, look, there it is. Oh, that balloon knew where to come.
Oh, yes, it is fabadiculous.
Spectacularly fabadiculous.
We went home in Campo and I ran inside ahead of the others. I put Grandpa down on the floor, he whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
Well, that was a great escape, Jason.
Yes, and well done for getting the invention to work, Grandpa.
I couldn't have done it alone. I'd still be in that box of bonbons if it wasn't for you. That's what I call teamwork, eh?
Teamwork.
Woo-hoo-hoo. We got our balloon invention to work without any help from you, Grandpa.
Oh, and how did you do that?
I used these. I puffed the balloon up into the sky with it, I did.
You puffed it, did you?
If you don't look out, I'll puff you up into the sky and see whether you can fly. Puff, 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 puff.
I don't need your help to fly, Loretta, thank you.
Puff, puff, puff.